Welcome to This Week in the NFL Week 10 edition. Get ready for some garbage. Come on, come on, and step right up to the toilet bowl of the week. Where the Chicago Bears actually benefit if they win or lose this time. What we get is a terrible Thursday night football game for the ages. I feel like every primetime game has been crappy. But anyway, the Bears decided that now is a good time to win, and they ended up flushing the Panthers. And the Bears didn't ruin their draft pick selection. It's a win-win. Be sure to tune in next week for more crap. Meanwhile, in Germany, we get to see one of the ugliest games in football ever played, between two former juggernauts. This is the biggest L Germany has ever had to take since both world wars. Well, Patriots, I think it's time. Fire Bill Belichick. Well, this game's functionally over. Josh Dobbs is looking like a world beater, and now Derek Carr's injured, so we're going to have to go with famous Jameis Winston. Jeez, just focus on the Falcons at this point on November the 26th. Wait a minute. Famous Jameis threw two good-looking touchdown passes to put the Saints back into contention? What universe is this? There's the Jameis Winston I knew, throwing a bunch of picks to seal the game for the Vikings. I swear, at this point the Saints have two types of quarterbacks. Scream pass all day, every day, or chuck it up deep and hope for the best. No in between. And this game's functionally over by the first quarter. Great. At least I can know as a Browns fan to never have too much expectations. And now the Ravens have a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter with a 97.1% chance of winning the game. No way they blow this, right? Oh my gosh, the Ravens did it. They blew it, and Lamar Jackson threw a pick six to give the Browns a tie ball game. Oh wait, I take that back, a 1-point ball game because our kicker missed an extra point. Nice. Well, I do appreciate the fight in us, but unfortunately, this was always the most likely scenario. The Ravens are winning, and now they're going to have massive talks of Super Bowl chances in Baltimore. Wait, what? The Browns won off a last-second field goal? And Deshaun Watson actually looked good out there? Huh, we might be having a glitch in the Matrix. But it all comes at a massive cost. His season. He's done for it. Alright, let me check who our next guy up is. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Oh no, he's going to be eaten alive and the Steelers are going to win by 90. As for the Steelers and their terrible offense that disappoints everyone, they'll disappoint you in a fun new way this time. Instead of having to come back in the last 5 minutes, they'll instead make it look like a shootout during the first quarter before just stalling out and letting the defense completely eat Jordan Love and crew alive. I mean, even if the Steelers make the playoffs, they're just going to get bounced out of the first round at this point. Down south, Mayfield and crew completely demolished the Tennessee Titans. The offense didn't even have to show up today. That's how bad Tennessee was on this day. Well done, Buccaneers. You may have just saved your season with that one. And since everyone else lost, you now have an outside track to the NFC South title. Looks like the 49ers finally woke up from their cold snap. They might have saved their season with that one. Chase Young didn't even do all that much. They just looked great out there. So their new addition hasn't helped them at all so far. That is how badly they beat the Jaguars today. The Bengals, in the midst of trying to re-grab a lost season, managed to force a tie ball game before remembering one thing. CJ Stroud is clutch. This Texans team has been fun to witness as an NFL fan. Good luck getting in the playoffs, boys. At this point, I'm starting to believe that the Seattle Seahawks should start to give their fans medical bills for how much heart attacks they're giving their fans. Because, I mean, my goodness, you almost lost to the Sam Howell-led Commanders, who at this point I'm starting to believe is a clone of Baker Mayfield. It's the question that everyone's been asking recently. Why the heck are the Cardinals starting Kyler Murray? You're supposed to be tanking, remember? Somehow, though, you haven't blown the whole thing yet, because Kyler Murray is about all you have left. But wait, what's that I hear in the distance? Ah, that's right, the typical Falcons choke. The Cardinals really blew up their tank because they started Kyler Murray to beat the Atlanta Falcons. That is comedy gold right there, folks. The Cowboys, after losing to the Eagles in heartbreaking fashion, are now angry and need blood. Luckily, the New York Giants shall be a good donation / sacrifice. Them boys are not back, but them boys will inject false hope in your veins. Is the Raiders were clearly meant to play New York teams because they seem to excel at beating them. And the New York Jets, I really thought you had a shot at the playoffs. But if you can't win without Aaron Rodgers, then adios, amigo. Now, here's an interesting Monday Night Football matchup. The Broncos are trying to get themselves a second signature win to be seen as real contenders, while the Bills are just really trying to get back in the playoff picture. The Broncos take the lead, but then bobble the snap on the extra point and fail the 2-point conversion, which was a completely botched extra point in this case. The Buffalo Bills then capitalize on their mistake and kick the extra point to take the lead. But Will Lutz is lining up for a field goal and he misses? Unfortunately, Leonard Floyd plus 11 other Bills players makes 12. Will Lutz delivers on his second try as the Bills end up firing their offensive coordinator. It's a start, I guess. This division is the exact same. At this point, it's a miracle the Buffalo Bills aren't completely out of contention yet. The Jets could win the division, but that's insanely unlikely. It's the question we've been asking since week 1. Who the heck is going to win the AFC North? If I'm being honest, none of you deserve it. The Ravens and Bengals choke too much, and the Browns and Steelers have zero source of offense. At this point, I guess it's going to be the Ravens. While the Jaguars are still the cream of the crop in this division, the Texans are sneaking up on them. This division might be closer than most people expect. I predict that this thing will come down to the final week of the regular season. Sorry, Chargers, but I think I'm going to have to swap you with the Broncos. While you did play a close competitive game with the Lions, you're carried by talent. Denver has good coaching. For the most part. They're still overshadowed by Kansas City, though. The NFC East has not changed, and will probably not do so for the rest of the season, unless if the Commanders make a random surge or something. The Lions are 100% cream of the crop in the division, but I'd watch your toes if I were you, Lions, because the Vikings are absolutely 100% nipping at them. And the Packers and Bears have the same amount of wins at 3. You two should really be tanking for Caleb Williams. This division is ugly, ugly football. Some of the worst you'll see in the NFL, in fact. This is pretty clearly a three-man race between the Saints, Falcons, and Buccaneers. The Panthers, they're just done. Well, 49ers, you're back. Were you worried at all? I figured you would be. And while yes, the Cardinals have Kyler Murray back, it is definitely not going to help their team in the long run. At least we know this division's gonna be a two-man race. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, and don't forget about John 3:16. And I'll see you next time. Psalms chapter 147, verses 5 through 7. How great is our Lord! His power is absolute. His understanding is beyond comprehension. The Lord supports the humble, but he brings the wicked down into the dust. Sing out your thanks to the Lord. Sing praises to our God with a harp.